Hello Capricorn, we're talking about compatibility. Let's talk about you. Well, Capricorn is a very interesting erogenous person for us at the moment because Pluto is going through Capricorn till the 2023. So yes, we like it. Whatever you are, we find a little bit sexy. We find a bit interesting. But overall, Capricorn is not really the prize that we usually pick. What is it about you? Even if you're really gorgeous, even if you're like whoa, like wow, sexy person, usually people don't really see you. Well, they kind of see parts of you and they're like, ugh, okay, nice. Like, they can see you like, oh, that's a girl. She's got a really nice curvy behind. She's really good with makeup. But then they kind of like, oh, okay, cool. And then they go somewhere else. What is it about Capricorn that sort of pressures us against the need to be with them? What is it? Why do we not really need Capricorn as much as we feel for like Pisces or special Geminis or like, whatever? What is it through the times that has changed about Capricorn to become this way? Well, stagnant frequencies that maybe not many of you can shed sometimes, and that means that we can kind of feel that you are not really the future. Your life is more in the past and the building blocks of the present. Like, we don't really connect with you in a way that a child would connect to their parent, because unfortunately love for many people is just incompletion of their childhoods, and that's something that you actually know and not care about that much. But for many human beings, love still lusts in the fifth house of Pluto, the fifth house of Leo, the fifth house of children, procreation, fun experiences, excitement, romance. That's what we want because we missed out on, like, my dad didn't like me, or like my mom wasn't there, So basically when we look to you, we don't usually see what we want to see because there's not something fresh, but yet something very stoic, so deeply stoic that it almost doesn't even need to be apparent anymore. And that's why maybe, you guys are so extreme in some ways, because there's parts of you that know that you're not like welcomed in the other's arms as much as other people are welcomed. And it like becomes a weird thing. It's almost like a tribal thing, like Capricorns of the world uniting and kind of feeling a different brand of feeling from us all, and that's quite fantastic and cool. If you're wanting to be with a Capricorn, keep in mind they don't come to your life for no reason. There's a very good reason usually why a Capricorn turns up, and that's usually because of them wanting something out of reality that they're not yet understanding how it works, and then they get a little bit of your codes to get it done. So practical pursuits with marriage, practical practices, that's fine because usually Capricorns are very good at that anyway, achieving that by themselves alone. And yet again, we come into their lives to spruce things up for them and also for ourselves massively, big time. So don't count on them to feel you through the ages, like really bring you joy, because usually it's like a practical, slightly pragmatic experience with the Capricorn that brings to it very much meaning and incredible potential for children, especially it's like a daddy. It's ironic because he's not saying it's not really for kids, not for love, but at the same time it's like the daddy sign, like the big daddy sign, like Cancer's the mummy sign, and all of that. So it's like a very strong calling towards production, especially now that Pluto is in Capricorn, but also concealing of oneself. That's why many people can't really connect with you guys, Capricorns, because there's parts of you that are like pulled away from us, and then we can't really find ourselves either. It's like a really weird enigma that you guys create. So, well, another thing actually about Capricorns is that they're very feeling, but they don't feel in the same way that we do, and then it makes it really awkward for us to really resemble them or like be one with them, like in one tribe with them in one family. So even though they may connect very well to family units and connect with people in a family bond, there is likelihood of being separated or separate from people anyway in the end. So how to do it? Well, Aries and Capricorn make a very interesting couple. Arian energy, Arian frequency is very much not for that which Capricorn represents energetically, but at the same time it is very much not against either. It's like a very interesting thing where one is ripping and flowing and chucking around and freeing and trying to get away, but then the other is sort of just like placid. Usually the Capricorn one is like the sort of a quiet one looking at the Aries frequency that's sort of like reaching up and trying to do things, trying to struggle into a new reality. And through that parameter, I feel for you, Capricorn, Aries provides a very interesting burst of life and freshness, but it doesn't really greatly satisfy your deeper needs. I feel in terms of partnerships or any kind of stoic experiences, I think that Aries can provide you a very formidable partner for the time being. And as soon as you go, I will be with you forever, it's over. So basically say it's all right for the time being, even if it's a marriage, feel like it's just a marriage. You could break up anytime, and make them know that too. Just for the time being, and that makes it last. But if you are trying to be very special about things and go, yeah, I will actually go for it, and I think I don't want anyone else, I feel things kind of fizzle very quickly, very fast for you both. If you wanted to make a marriage last, then Taurus would be very good for that. I feel Taurus is something that is very lasting and very pure of heart. It's even to the point where it's so stupidly pure that you feel a little bit in love with the purity of it all. Like, wow, you are actually that dumb. Wow, you're actually that open to me. And that makes you feel incredibly secure. But also Taurus will bring you a lot more than you understand sometimes through different upheavals of your own that you don't actually recognize, that are acted out by another person. So if you're not energetically, emotionally complying with reality, you'll actually hear from your partner about it. Like your Taurian partner might be angry or frustrated, and you'll be like, oh, what a dick. But at the same time, they're actually just being you. They're just getting your energy across to you through them. So have a look at them, because they're like a really pure water for you. So have a look at them. Definitely have a look at the Taurus as a partner for life. For Gemini, I wouldn't probably bother with a lot of the things they're doing with themselves. Like when you're looking to them and you're thinking, oh, I'm only building this much, but they're building this much. Oh my God, Gemini's getting everything done. Don't look at that. So basically, love it. Like, try and learn to applaud. Okay, so Gemini's getting everything done. Took them 2 hours and took you freaking 2 weeks to do something. Then just say, cool, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. Try that. Try it. Even if they're just your partner or just a friend or just a marriage, just whatever they are. Just be like, I'm proud of you doing everything, because they're activated by you. They're like, I can do anything. I can actually do anything. And that's cool that they think that they're you sometimes, because every sign, everybody kind of thinks they're you at certain points. And that's fine. So basically, at that point when you kind of feel like, oh, wow, that person's doing a lot more than me, just be like, release your preconception about you and them being separate. Just be like, that's good. I'm applauding my son or my wife or my husband, whoever the fuck, I'm applauding him or her for doing so great. And the more you applaud, the more you get. Seriously, the Gemini can provide you a lot. Just sort of keep it going, keep it going. They may be a little bit feisty or a little bit weird or a little bit off with you, just because of you combining in frequency in that way. But just leave it out, don't worry, just be like, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you. Just tell them that you're proud and see how far it goes. With a Cancer, I feel Capricorn doesn't want to know, but they found it. There's something that they found in Cancer. They find something in Cancer that's really like, wow. That's really wow. That's really, 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 really wow. Even though no one can see it. Maybe you guys are seen together as a couple outside on the street and people are like, oh, goodness gracious, what's he doing with her? What's she doing with him? Goodness, or what's she doing with she? Or what's he doing with he? Like, people will just look at you like go, oh, that's weird. That's really weird. And that's fine, because usually with a Cancer, you can't go wrong. There is something really deep within you that thinks you can. And there's something that really terrifies you and her or him, because you are looking for the bad in Cancer. You're actually looking for the bad. And for the bad in Cancer means loving it when she goes wrong or he goes wrong, when they stuff up, when they do things that are very strange indeed, and when they even go to the brink of insanity, finding very interesting peace in that. But there has to be a very strong need for you, Capricorn, to lay back, listen to the weather, see the stars, feel the ocean, give it up, all that need for extra weird stuff to happen to you guys, the extra weird stuff to take form in your relationship. Don't look for the weird stuff. Don't look for the mutations, because mutations happen as a natural part of nature. They don't have to be scary. Don't look fear in the eyes when you find a Cancer. Basically, look at the greater picture, the beautiful things, the landscape, the nature, everything like that, because that gets all the codes together for you without you needing to mutate anything at all. In terms of lasting relationship, Leo does not really do it for you, but it can actually give you more. Leo can actually give you more and more and more and more, even when you're bored and tired of Leo. If you can commit to a Leo to a point where you don't go anywhere sometimes, if you really want to build something and make something happen, you can. Like, say, if you're with a Leo in bed, stay in there for a while, see what happens. You know, you might actually get a few different things happen during the night, during the day, during the next night, during the day. It's like marathon sex, which are really incredibly enticing and opening and very interestingly operating. So with Leo, you might get a lot of different ideas out, you might get a lot of different feelings out. It might be a very interesting sexual connection, might be very, very, very flamboyant energy between you, even though Leo feels a little bit weird about it. Just don't worry, like, there's something about Leo that gives you a lot at the moment, especially as Pluto's in your first house. Just like let it happen, especially with money, with power, with sex, with hospitality as well. Just have a look at what Leo offers you, because they will do it. They will do whatever. They'll just do it. Whatever it is that they're doing. Whatever they're like inspired to do for you. With Virgo, I feel Capricorn can find very nice peace and quiet, even to the point where you can die together. Like, you're like, okay, I'm so at peace, I could actually die right now. Like, this is just the best I've ever had. I've never had anybody love me so much. I've never done, like, I never did anything right, and then suddenly I find this person. Usually Virgo will come into your life when you've done everything wrong. It's really quite funny, but sometimes like a Virgo, like a person who is a Virgo pursuit, they will look for you when you are in trouble, and part of them will want to keep on giving you something bad but then giving you something good. It's like administrating drugs, like a nurse. And sometimes with a Virgo nurse in your field, you might actually find that you're in love with the nursing more than the actual person, because once you're better, once you recommend yourself in a better way to yourself, and you find yourself and you ground to stand on and build on, sometimes Virgo will disappear or will create themselves a completely different persona. That makes you a little bit uneasy about it, but you need to flow with it, because I feel Virgo can continue and keep on giving you whatever you need, just as long as you sort of like breathe through it and like feel very feeling towards the other person, you know, feel towards them. You feel them and they feel you. It's really nice. There's something in Virgo that definitely keeps you up at night if you're not around them. Sometimes maybe you're thinking about them or something like that, but there's definitely good things coming. With the Libra doesn't really understand you at all, but that's okay, because they're so cute. They're so cute and pretty. Like, they're so weird. Like, they're so weird and wacky. It's very cute and very almost diminishing to even see yourself with someone that scale. With Libra, you feel like a dynamic adult with a tiny child. And that's something that's very malleable and malleable, because Libras can grow really quickly with you. If you plant a Libra as a little pot plant next to you, sometimes you'll be surprised over a few days they'll become almost as big as you, and then within just a few hours they'll become much bigger. And that's something unnerving for Capricorn, because usually Libra doesn't know what it is until it meets a Capricorn properly. And sometimes when they recall parts of them, it's a little bit scary, because the little baby's all grown up very quickly, and that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. So basically with Libra, don't try and enjoy or interpret what they are very quickly, and don't call the shots, because sometimes you'll be like, she's that she needs to be like that and like this and this, you know, that's who she is or he is, you know. Don't do that, because sometimes Libra will give you not exactly what you think or want, because sometimes Libra is a very feisty little sign that can give you something completely different, even destroy you. Libra is not something that is premeditative or really kooky enough to cause any havoc on purpose, but at the same time, when Libra feels unloved and uncared for, it can pull a couple of strings, and bam, you know, you're breaking up, or you're putting yourself into really unfortunate circumstances. So be very, very mindful with Libras, even though they might seem to you very small and tiny, because they hold the keys to you a lot longer than you are away from them. So sometimes, say, you know, been away for a long time, like a few years, and you still feel a part of your life is still entwined with that person. So just be very careful there. With Scorpio, something is very good going on. There's very much an absence of lust sometimes, but then an extreme feeling of molding to each other, with Capricorn wanting lots more from Scorpio than meets the eye, and that's fine, because there is a chance that Scorpio has a lot more than Capricorn can ever realize. And there is like a really interesting thing, because you're all holding your treasures back from each other. Maybe not so much Scorpio, because they're kind of like a little bit crazy. They got a death wish. So basically you are showing something to each other that you're really, really wanting, and during that process you can actually really fall in love with, you know, yourselves or them as themselves without you involved. So it's like you can be really in love with them, and then not knowing like that you love them, or like wanting them to not love you but then really being in love with them. Like Scorpio and Capricorn, they just have a very strange experience together, because they like don't really know what is where, without understanding that they've lost all control during a relationship with each other. And sometimes one of them listens to the other one more than the other, and then the one that doesn't listen talk all the time realize that they had to listen the whole time. Things like that happen, and basically they become very separate beings later on in life. But I feel to resume a very stoic relationship together, so a stoic relationship between Capricorn and Scorpio, there'll need to be a few alterations in you, Capricorn, because Scorpio usually comes to show you the way. If you can't see it, then you'll never see it. So basically, if you can, take this chance. With Sagittarius, it's not a very good scheme. If you want to be pleasant, if you want to be pretty, and you want to be loyal and loving like Sagittarius or like Scorpio has taught you, if you want to be a nice person, it's not hard, but it's not right. So basically be yourself. If there is like a chance that you might be a little bit too stoic or doom driven, it's okay, because Sagittarius wants you to laugh, because it's knowing that everything is just frequency. So it's just everything's everything. And then like you try to like possess a certain feeling in you that you are already there, but you're not. Like there is something in you that is like completely opposite to Sagittarius, even though it's your previous signs, 12th house, but at the same time it's very similar. There has to be a lot of laughter that is from the inside, even sometimes though you laugh at the dark things more than you laugh at the light things, but there has to be like a very good understanding, very formidable frequency where you can just laugh. And even if that means being ugly or taught differently, like you were taught to be a certain way in your childhood, but then you express yourself in another way. Sagittarius really gives you something to worry about sometimes with your demeanor and how you're presenting to people, but that's okay, because you need to relax and relace and recreate the way that you've been doing things. Basically, if a Sagittarius comes into your life, Capricorn, there's more than enough chances given. More than enough chances given to you just to be yourself. And that means you'll have to be completely uninhibited, at least at one point of your life. Very soon after you guys cross paths. So just one more note, if you're not able to be yourself with a Sagittarian person, you'll need to start anew. You have to start completely revamping your previous life and really, really look at what you're doing and how you're going about it. With Capricorn, and Capricorn is not really here. The Capricorn doesn't really want it, but then it does, but then it doesn't care, but then it does. Doesn't see the point of building something, but then it do. and kind of doesn't really feel like it's really interesting, but it is. Like, there's a lot of different things that are contradicting with the Capricorn scenario. The two can be very good friends. Anything to do with angels and demons and like religious, or like reclaiming of certain religious rights, and just weird stuff like to do with gospel stuff and just all that stuff is very good, ironically, for two Capricorns to ponder about. So for example, if you've got a lot of interest in religion and social structures of the world that go way back into the roots of all eternity, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's a good friend to talk to. In any way, if you don't want to be that and you want to be somebody who just lives their freaking life and has a good time, then perhaps you need to start over. There is a need to start over. There's a starting over energy that maybe implies that you need to stop looking at the past and start looking to the future through the present, but mostly just the future, because it's how Capricorn do. Can you have a long-term relationship with a Capricorn if you're a Capricorn? No, you can, but it's like it's like hard. It's like rock on rock. Like, put rocks together and then put them in a basket and dress them up with ribbons and say this is good. It's not good. It's like rocks, you know. So up to you how you go about it, but like, I would really consider marriage only as a last part of your journey. Like, say, being together for 30 years and you're like, hey, guess what would be cool? What? Well, if we just tied the knot, maybe, like the predecessors did. Oh yeah, let's do that. It would be a funny game. Yeah, ha ha ha. That kind of thing. I feel that would definitely work. Capricorn with Aquarius doesn't really make a lot of sense. Aquarius deeply enjoys things that are vulnerable for Capricorn, and there's a lot of emotion and inner greed and inner weird turmoil that happens with emotional body of Capricorn during an Aquarian encounter. Like, they can see that things are more stretchy than they really are. They can see that reality is more futile, but then it's more giving. It's just really scary. Like, it's shaky ground. Everything's kind of like loyal, but at the same time like jelly. It's like, well, yeah, come see the world, says Aquarius. Like, come open your eyes. And Capricorn's like, I won't do it. Oh my god, it's all like jelly. Oh my god, I can't structure anything that I've been structuring for a long time. Oh my god, I can't do things the same way. So basically with Aquarius, Capricorn gets a wake-up call of a lifetime. If you are somebody with an Aquarian now, it basically means that you've come so long and far in your evolution that you finally did it to the point where you can start over completely new. Anyway, with an Aquarian person, I feel the world would be really much your oyster if you just let go of everything that you were, to the point where you don't know anything. I don't know. Like, you come home and they're like, hey man, what'd you do today? And you'll be like, I don't freaking understand. I don't freaking know. And they're like, so what'd you do? Like, what was your day like? What was, what was your scheme for the day? What was the pattern for the day? What was the laugh of the day? You might be like, there was a woman at the bus stop. She touched me and I felt funny. That was weird. And then you're like, ah! And there's like a weird ridiculousness that happens with you and Aquarius that can only be understood by you guys. Like in inner humor and things like that, but it could ever so definitely last, for sure. With Pisces, waters are freaky waters, freaky deep. There's a need to tell them something and tell them something good. You might be like, well, Pisces, actually, look at you, what are you doing? What are you having for dinner? Why are you wearing those clothes? Hey Pisces, why are you still vegan? Why are you not eating meat? Hey Pisces, did you know? La, 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 la. So basically what happens is you get misconceived in your own brain as to who you are in the relationship with the Pisces. You'll be like, well, Pisces, look at the world, Pisces. And what they do, they kind of go, yeah? Wow. They're like, whoa, that's fucked up. They like look at you like, oh, that's cool. If you are with a Pisces as a Capricorn, there will be most likely a chance that you've lost something. You freaking lost something, okay? And you thought, I know it. I know. I've lost nothing. I'm me, and I know. I know when to get up. I know when to go to sleep. I know everything there is to know about God. I know everything there is to know about human beings. Now, if you're at that point of life and you know everything, that's when you get a Pisces. When Pisces is like, what? Are you serious? The funny thing about Pisces and Capricorn relationships is that Pisces can give you a lot more than anyone else. And that's why they're so sought after by other people as well, because everything about Pisces is very dreamy and interesting, but at the same time very deceiving. And if you wanted to, you could really, really benefit from a Piscean person if you didn't know as much as you did. So just start looking around. If you're with Pisces, stuck in here, you're really stuck, okay? If you're with a Pisces, look around. Okay, I know that there's God and there's angels up above, and then you're like, okay, let's have a look at the Buddhist manuscripts. There is no place like your breath. You are the only one here. And you're like, okay, that's true as well. And then say you got another preconception. If you're with a Pisces, there's just advice. I've got the best life. I've got the best life. I've got the best life. I've got everything. I know when to get up. I know what to do with myself. You know, you're like doing this. Look at yourself. Like, for example, you drive a sports car. You have a lot of money. You work out. You got trendy clothes. You got a well-furnished apartment. And then maybe go, but I'm freaking bored and tired and I want to kill myself some days. And then sometimes you're like, oh, that's human. I've got everything. No. Look at those feelings. Like, what's that other world? Like, look at the as well as the like, look at everything. Look at the different polarities that you're making in your mind, because there's chances that the ideas that you have inside are not quite so, and you're building reality that is like not quite so, because Pisces will show you where to go. And often it'll be pretty and nice if you're open-hearted, and if you are not, and you, especially if you're playing a game with Pisces, especially if you're like lying or like sleeping around or anything like that, there's definitely need for closure. And be careful with Pisces, Capricorn. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here. Have a look at my stuff. Have a look at my website. Book a reading if you like. I'd like to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.